Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back. This is Adam West and Wolf Block Party Podcast. And it's a monumental day, bro.
Monumental, people.
Big five for our podcast. 5 years ago today,
Ooh.
we started randomly in the middle of a pandemic. Uh, we wanted to get some Saints draft information right before the draft from our dude, Tony Pauline. And shout out to our dude Alberto, who's drunk in the chat. And we said, hey, let's do this one off Saints podcast because we want to hear the deets of what they might be doing in the draft. And fast forward 5 years later, and here we fucking are.
It's crazy because I remember that first episode. we got like 15 minutes with Tony, and he was like, "Look, I gotta hop on a call to Texas. I'll talk to y'all later." Click. And, we weren't tripping about it. Like, hey, look, we just glad to get you for 15 minutes. Now when he come on, he be like, "Hey guys, I made some calls about the Saints before coming on, so I can get some extra details just for y'all." Like that's, like just those little things, man. It's just crazy to me. Crazy to me.
So this is a celebration podcast. Have not opened one of these on the pod in a while, but I felt like this was necessary. This is a celebration for our 5 years doing this podcast, and we haven't really celebrated it on the podcast yet. The Dennis Allen Derek Carr era for the Saints is over, Ryan. We've talked about it, we've reported on it, but we haven't really we haven't celebrated that the DA Derek Carr era for the Saints done. Over.
Smell it. Smell of roses. Like I know everybody like, oh, Saints trash. We ain't gonna do nothing yet. All that. We get to that later. Right now, it's a new era. It's gone. DA-Carr out of here.
Out of here, bro. Out of here. So it's a reason to celebrate. Both of them out of here. And I just want to just get back 5 years. This podcast has now been through 2 Trump presidencies. Because we started at the tail end of the first one. But I think what this podcast has shown me, not shown me, but it is a microcosm of life, right? Life is about growth because growth, evolving, grief, highs, lows. Because in the podcast alone, there in 5 years, right? During this podcast, I've lost my mom. In this podcast, from the iteration from when we started it, from the beginning, there's been friendships through the podcast and throughout. Without the podcast, there have been friendships that has started, ended, and there's been iterations of the community of our podcast that has started and transformed as the years have gone on, and that's life, right? Like that is what life is. But going from where we started, how we met as friends in our friendship, 2 guys meeting on Twitter, draft sickos, Saints sickos, to the point where we have been able as a podcast and also like as a business, right? Not just as a podcast, but also like as a business, being able to be present in these things like the Senior Bowl, like the Combine, Colorado Pro Day, where it is still a highly white male dominated realm, right? And here we are, still trying to change the game. Just being us. And to this day, the Saints was 2 years ago, not giving media credentials to us. Best thing that's ever happened for us. And part of me wondered like if they regretted it, because they were like, damn.
Nah, they don't regret it.
I didn't think so.
Nah. I can tell you what, if they did give it to us, we probably wouldn't have it right now anyway. So.
Oh, that shit would have
been gone.
Been gone, bro. Would have had that shit a couple of months. Shit would have been yanked.
So quick.
But like, here we are. But I want to, I do, for the most part, like I try to be modest in what we do, for the most part. But like we've been in this game for 5 years. I've been podcasting 7.5. Like people need to realize, and hopefully this doesn't get us demonetized. People need to stop fucking with us, bro.
Catch up.
Catch on. Everything we have said. Everything we have fucking said about the Derek Carr situation, about everything, about how things have played out. It has, now the thing that has, shout out to Derek Carr for just blowing this shit up. just
right.
Blowing it up.
We didn't see that coming.
No. Fucking Quicksilver and Age of Ultron, bro. But we don't put shit out on this medium just for funsies. We don't say shit just to say it. And if we are speculating, if we don't have concrete basis of what we're saying, we preface it as saying this is not sourced. This is just us thinking. But if it's something that we have heard, people need to realize, like, no, we are not tied to anyone. No one is using us as like a media pawn. We say shit, and everything we talked about this entire situation has come to fruition almost to the T, like we said it would.
It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. But, that's part of the game, man. Not everybody gonna believe you. And the thing I noticed is most people that really question us probably hasn't listened to like 1 minute of our podcast.
There you go.
So it's like, the ones, our day ones, the ones that, listen to us and rock with us. And look, like I always say, our podcast is not for everybody.
Oh, no.
It's just not. And I'm fine with that.
No.
I'm fine with that. I'm not about to restructure or, change the way I come with it, to please a certain, section of the fan base or whatever. Like I'm willing to keep it. I mean, I feel like if us being who we are isn't enough to attract listeners, then, it just is what it is.
It is what it is.
But we've been able to grow and be successful. Over 600,000 downloads over the past 5 years. Video, audio, you name it. Patreon, been, steady, consistent, So all I could do is just be thankful, man. And like I tell people, the thing I'm most thankful about is the community we built. Great friends, built friendships, man. Like friendships is not, as taken to someone who has had moments in their life where the friend level was low. Didn't have many people to reach out to, especially in my younger days. So I take value in calling somebody a friend. You know what I'm saying? And we've been able to grow those through this. Through the Saints, to the point where the Saints are just like a side partner to this thing. It's not even about the Saints. You can jump in the Discord right now. Trust me, we ain't even talking about the Saints. We talking about some devious shit, man. So that's the enjoyable thing. So that's what I like really value. I just really appreciative of it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't take it for granted. And to all the people that just listen to, not even in the Patreon, but they just see our podcast pop up and get play every morning, every Monday morning or Thursday morning or whatever. And just, or, you know, at work and they throw it up on YouTube. Thank you, man. Thank you. Like, just, I really appreciate that. Like, I truly do. We couldn't do it without you. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for everybody that's been rocking with us.
Thank you for everybody. Thank for everyone who has supported us. Shout out to Bree. Shout out to Jay who put up with all the time and energy that goes into this. That energy goes into this, and it's time and energy that's taken away from them. But then flip that around, you know, when the meetups happen and they see it, right, like it really kind of hammers the point of like what we have built, because that's when it's like it's great, but that's when it's crazy, like being at the meetups and seeing everyone together, you know, diversity, no matter like where you're from, all ages, like everyone come together, like it's a beautiful fucking thing.
Beautiful,
it really is a beautiful thing. You know, we're having our draft party next week. See what these niggas about to do. See what
Can't wait, boy.
Oh my God. So we'll be in the city in New Orleans, experiencing it all together. So like, it's man, it leaves me speechless, man. It leaves me speechless. Like in no way did I think about, you know, when I stopped and stepped down from Saints Talk, stepped down from Saints Talk podcast, I had no intention of podcasting again. Had no inkling, had no desire to podcast again, and here we are, man. Like really, here we are. So we appreciate y'all from the bottom of our hearts. We really do. Shout out to our dude Bjan with the $1.99 super chat. Saints Front Office fuming at y'all's success. Happy 5 years. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
You know what's funny? There are probably some people who are fuming at our success, but there's probably people in the front office who are like, yeah, keep airing them niggas out. Like keep going. Shout out to Red Eye, $2 super chat. Appreciate you. When you're right, so much people want to prove you wrong. Yep, that is true. Anyway, listen, I can only speak to my time as a Saints fan and my Saints fandom, and I know old timers are like, well, in my day, like this isn't like the dick era. It was abbreviated, but that DA and Derek Carr was only a pocket of it, right? Because that first season it was Andy Dalton and Jameis, right? But that DA Derek Carr marriage, a dark period. And the fact that it came off of Sean and Drew, like the juxtaposition.
That's the key right there.
Oh my God, right? Yeah.
That's the key.
That's like, man, that's like being in some of the best you ever had, and then you just being in some stank yuck, bro. Like that's just blown out. Like, oh, you don't got no bottom, girl. You don't got no bottom. Just like, oh,
no
like,
walls. You got no walls.
The walls gone. That's the DA-Carr era, bro. Just no walls, bro. This shit just gone, bro.
Yeah, bro. Especially like in juxtaposition to what we came from, like to go 16 years with Sean Payton, Drew Brees, you know, excellence, winning games, you know, just feeling like you got a top-notch franchise. You know what I'm saying? Whether, you know, a lot of sad, you know, years ending sadly, a lot of heartbreak and all that stuff, but you still felt like every year, man, we got a shot, got a chance.
Right.
And it's like, man, that Derek Carr and DA era, it just feel like you had no shot, no chance. No chance, bro. And it's not so much. I know people be like, they'll bring up like the record or whatever, and it, you know, there are teams with worse records. It was so much bigger than that.
It wasn't about that, man.
It was not about that, man.
It's
unenjoyable. It wasn't enjoyable at all, man.
Look at Chris Olave, bro. You think Chris Olave was having fun? Like, think about this. So let me, hold on. Poetic Analytics. Is Carr officially gone? Haven't seen a link. Derek Carr is not going to play another snap for the New Orleans Saints.
It's over, bro.
That's the link is what the link is me verbally telling you. He is not going to play a snap for the Saints ever again. Not going to happen.
Over.
Let me encapsulate the DA-Carr era for you. Right? Okay. Primetime game. You have your star quarterback yelling at your young receiver for running the wrong route when he didn't run the wrong route at all. He ran the right route. And Derek Carr didn't throw the ball to the right read. Throws him under the bus. National TV, everyone sees it. And then in the media, you have the head coach siding with the quarterback who was wrong because of the quarterback's ego was so bad. And so then you have him throwing the receiver who didn't do anything wrong and throwing him under the bus to the point that Cody Burns, the former wide receiver coach, like pretty much was like, he said he didn't want to be with the Saints anymore because he saw how bad the situation was. He said, if the head coach is doing that, I don't want to be here. That's what the Dennis Allen and Derek Carr experience was for the New Orleans Saints.
And just to mention, you had to have Mike Thomas come out and pretty much reveal the truth about the situation and basically be a whistleblower. And he got buried.
Buried, bruh.
He's been buried. Still ain't get a thank you.
None, bruh. Not a thank you. Not a hashtag thank you for your service post. Nothing, bruh. Nothing.
Just ripped the 13 off and gave it to who they gave it to? I can't even remember.
Equanimous Saint fucking Brown. Ryan.
Saint Brown. Just gave it 13, bro. Somebody who broke the wide receiver record for receptions as a Saint.
What fucking Mark said? MAGA Musk Thomas was right.
MT the windbag on us, bro. I blame DA. I blame DA for that.
Right? Just blame.
That's DA fault too. Shit. And Derek Carr.
MT wouldn't have went like that if Sean Payton was still here. Goddamn.
Nah, hell no.
Shout out to Jay Diggs. $9.999 super chat.
Thank you, Jay.
Good riddance. Won't miss him. Neither will I.
Woo. Good riddance. Bye.
Wait, what? Wayne said, but it wouldn't surprise me to hear Ruggs was being mistreated by Carr. To be clear, Ruggs, Henry Ruggs. I don't know if that's.
What you talking about, Wayne? What?
I don't know if that's the hill you want to die on, bro. Although Derek Carr been in that Rolls Royce acting like he fucking Henry Ruggs, boy.
I mean, swinging that thing. On the stove, whoa. Bruh, think about that. He dropped that literally minutes after the Saints put out that workout video. Like an hour after. Like, you can't write this stuff, bro. You just can't write it.
Talk about, bro. Low-key, I fucking love it, bro.
Oh, I loved it. Oh, my God. Like, that's why I posted that Shaq meme. Like, hey, I underestimated your game, bro. Like,
respect
that shit. Like, oh, y'all working out? Get your roll on. Like, man, in a freaking $500,000 Rolls Royce, riding around chilling. Oh, y'all just sweating and busting y'all ass, huh? I'm good over here.
Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me. That $40 million cleared.
Thanks, Mick. Bro, I swear to God, I want to see that. Thanks, Mickey, and hit that wink.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. Wait, what shoulder is he? Like, he probably forget what shoulder it is. Oh, shit.
Ooh, my shoulder. Oh, it's my left shoulder. $40 million, and I ain't got to work. He ain't got to work. He don't have to work. He could put his feet up for a year, bro.
Can I clarify some things that's getting me a little upset about this whole Derek Carr situation? So people are like, oh, And I don't want to become like the Derek Carr defender, because that's like the last thing I want to fucking become. Well, let me turn this camera off. I gotta turn this AC on. This gonna be an Adam Gets Sweaty podcast. I can already tell.
Oh Lord.
Okay. Fans on. All right. So I got some clarification from our last episode we did with the timeline. I was told Derek Carr wanted to be out of New Orleans literally as soon as DA got fired. So that timeline that I did was incorrect. I had said January 2024. He wanted out, sorry, January 2025. He wanted out November 2024. The week that DA was fired, Derek Carr wanted nothing to do with the Saints anymore. A loser wanted to stay with a loser. Okay? Remember that first game they won under Rizzy? Right.
Mm-hmm. A Rizzy ball game.
Rizzy
the
ball
Falcons. We was there.
Shit, was that the first Rizzy game? Shit, it was, wasn't it? And they interviewed Derek Carr, and he goes, "Oh, DA built this."
Shout out to DA.
Hey.
He built this.
So he wanted out back in November 2024. A lot of fans are saying that like Derek, like, oh, he like this is a thing that he's doing so he's not Kirk Cousins. This has nothing to do about a future quarterback. He wanted out during like the season last year. Like he was plotting this way back when. So he's been wanted out. And basically what Mickey Loomis, and I saw this on Saints Report, oh, this podcast just will have you believe that Mickey Loomis is just the worst GM in the league, and that's why I just can't listen to them. What rock are you living on?
What? Like, what franchise are you watching? You got to be a Saints fan. Are you a Pelicans fan? The proof is in the pudding. Like, what are you looking at, bro?
Would you like to talk about the 2022 draft trade that Mickey Loomis made because he thought the Saints were a lot better than they were, and then that 2023 first round pick becomes Jalen Carter, who is a top three defensive tackle? Or then in 2023, Mickey Loomis basically picked every draft player in that draft, and that draft is one of the worst Saints drafts probably of all time. He hired Dennis Allen, and then even after they lost to the Panthers, he didn't want to fire. Like even after that game, we obviously know he didn't want to fire. Like I don't
didn't
like.
want to fire DA.
So like this is up.
Not only did he not want to fire DA, the owner had to go around him to fire DA, and he pretty much put out a statement saying the owner was wrong for making that decision. This is general manager.
Which Dennis Allen confirmed on Jay Glazer's podcast.
Like, this is not my words. This is Dennis Allen's words. And might I remind you, he just paid Derek Carr $40 million, a quarterback that does not want to play for the team. A quarterback. And people like, but you know, I mean, shoot, he just needs to play. He's under contract. We were talking about a quarterback, not a right defensive end or a wide receiver. Who you just like, sit down. A quarterback.
A quarterback who had told the team that he didn't want to be there. So I was told
$40 million. That's in the books. It's not. I don't care what you do. It's going. It's gone. Like the $40 million is gone. $40 million. And you telling me he's a good GM? Sit down, man. I'm glad you don't. I'm glad whoever it is. I'm glad you don't listen to us. Please don't listen.
So I was told that the team, aka Mickey Loomis, or maybe probably the team as a whole, but more probably Mickey Loomis, underestimated how much Derek Carr like didn't want to be on the team anymore.
It just shows me how. And you know what? I could give them some slack for that because I know how Derek Carr works, and if they did actually talk to him, or I don't know if they talked to him or the agent, But Derek Carr can be he's fake, bruh. Like I could see him telling them one thing, but feeling another way. You know what I'm saying? I could see him talk to them and them kind of coming away kind of sure, like, oh, I think he's good. I think he's okay.
My talk back to that would be, but what did the person that you hired as head coach tell you that he wanted back in February?
Hello. And you also got to be able to read the situation, read people and stuff like that. Like you're a fucking executive.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? We some podcasters and we pick up on shit. Just sitting here, not even stuff we source, but just like me and you sitting here looking at like pressers and things and connecting dots with what people say and the way they say things and stuff like that. We pick that stuff up. And we just podcasters.
It's not like I am a social worker and I am supposed to be able to assess people and haven't been assessing people for almost 10 years. I don't know. For things a lot more serious than just football decisions and playing on Sunday.
Exactly. And this goddamn executive running 2 franchises.
And I guarantee you Mickey Loomis getting paid a lot more than I goddamn do. But he just out here just. But listen. This whole debacle, which is hilarious, just shows how much egg is on Mickey Loomis's face. But in a weird way, like kind of like shout out to Derek Carr because like this is what the team needed. Like this is what they needed, bro.
It's amazing. He's forcing their hand to do what they should be doing.
Should have been doing. Now they have like a $40 million like mistake on their hands, but like even then they could swing it and be like, well, we paid them $40 million, but even then we got to be active in free agency. We got to add Justin Reed and blah 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 blah. You could sugarcoat it. You can't because it's awful. But like, there's ways that you could like talk yourself into like it being okay, right? There's a point. Hold on. There's a point I was going to go with this. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone over.
Gone, bro. Gone, man. Cutwater got it.
Yeah. That's why I was only gonna have one. Couldn't have two. Big gone. Where are we at? We got a little bit. Then we're gonna shout out to our dude Bjan. Give him some love. But this is where the team is now, and they have a big draft next week. News came out today. Ryan Ramczyk retired. The reason I want to bring that up is the cautionary tale of trying not to overreact to draft picks. Because I remember the Ryan Ramczyk pick clear as day, 2017.
Yep.
It was Reuben, they were going to draft Reuben Foster. The Niners traded up and drafted Reuben Foster instead. And then it felt like the Saints were like left with scraps, and they drafted this goddamn tackle from Wisconsin.
Just tackle out of Wisconsin. We got Zach Street. We got Toronto. What y'all doing?
Why? Make it make sense. Listen, Zach Street got hurt. They put Ryan Ramczyk.
First game. Week 1. Zach Street got hurt.
Like just immediate All-Pro, bro. Just immediate All-Pro. Like it was a truncated career, but like his peaks of being dominant was dominant, and
dominant, bro.
For a period of time, that their bookends of Ryan Ramczyk, and then obviously Eric McCoy in the middle.
And look, then you was able to slide Pete to guard. Man. Larry Warford, kind of up and down player, but when he was good, That was an old line, boy. That was a weapon. That was when the offensive line was a weapon. Just by itself.
And it's just, and I say it's a cautionary tale because, there's always this rush to like judge draft picks after they happen, right?
And we all do it.
Just human nature. Although I would say, bro, we've been pretty good lately. Pete Warner, we're pretty right on Pete Warner. On Latte, we're pretty right on the Latte, bro. Like, no, we've been Fuaga. We like Fuaga. I don't know. Like I would say, like after 2017, we've been pretty good. But just of like whatever the picks are next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just give it time. Just give it time.
Let it play out.
Let it play out. But shout out to Ryan Ramczyk for
Man.
amazing career. Like they've already like worked out. Like they had already been like this had been like this is not a surprise, but it just became official. I don't know. I was trying to see what the chat was saying. Poetic Analytic is a Raiders fan.
Oh, okay.
So he was just saying how much he was also he knows the Derek Carr experience. So let's we'll take a break right now. And do you have for our dude Bjan? Do you have that ready?
Yeah. I sent you the screener. You got it?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back after this.
All right, guys. And if you're looking for a custom website that actually fits your business, not some cookie cutter template, I need y'all to listen to this. Whether you're a 2-person podcast or a 200-person law firm, Bjan over at bjonlb.com, that's BIJONLB.com, has you covered. He builds everything from scratch to fit your exact needs. And he doesn't just vanish after the job is done. He becomes your long-term tech partner, like call him when you need some tech partner. Trust me, I've done it. Most devs, they just want specs, code, and they out. Socially awkward, don't get your business, don't understand it. Not Bjan. Bjan is the total opposite. He talks to you. He learns you, builds a relationship with you to understand what you need. And he actually is actually good with people. And the bonus, he's Indian and he's based in the United States. So no time zone headaches and no is this being outsourced. So check out his work at bjonlb.com or shoot him an email at bjonlb.dev@gmail.com. We'll put this in the show notes page also so you can link to it. So we've worked with Bjan personally for our Saints Block Party.com website. He built it from scratch. Beautiful website. We met on Zoom and talked about what we're looking for. He went back and forth with us, worked with us closely, designed it exactly what we wanted, plus more, plus stuff we couldn't even think of. He thought about it and he brought it to the table. So he's a perfect front-end web dev to get, if whether you're a small business, big business, or you need a personal website, he's done it all. So he's the person you really need to get with if you want to get that thing launched. So check him out. His website's right there on the front screen. Give him a holler. Great dude. We know him personally. Me and Adam will put our name next to his. So he's somebody you can trust. Thank you.
For sure. Check out our dude, bjonlb.com. Like Brian said, we put our name by it. Draft. Next week, Ryan.
Can't wait. It's a crazy draft, bro, because you really don't know what's going to happen. We got our theories, we got our sources. You hearing this, you hearing that. We don't know, bro.
We don't know.
Don't know.
So I will share this. Talk to my friend today. Shout out to our dude Sherm. $5 super chat. Happy 5th anniversary for Sherm, fam. I don't speak for everyone, but I know that I feel the same we say we appreciate y'all niggas. Excuse my French. Love you, sure. So, something that does worry me about next week is, and maybe this is, I don't know, man. Maybe this is not super crazy across the league, but maybe it is. But what I was told today is that there is, and this is kind of just is in line with what we've heard, even with the head coaching process, the search, right? The David Shaw thing, people not being on the same page, like, too many chefs in the kitchen type of thing.
Yep.
Sounds like it's a mess in the front office in terms of, it just seems like there's too many voices.
Yeah.
I tried to get a sense of what that meant, and I was told that if I was given the answer to that, I was pretty much would know what the Saints draft plans were. And my friend knows that about a week before the draft, I get put on a sabbatical. Like, I don't want to know who they're going to draft. I don't want to know the plans, because we do our draft party, we do our live stream on the draft, and I don't want to know, because I want that natural, organic reaction. I don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah.
So they said, if I tell you any more details, it's essentially going to give out the plans, right? So, but what I could kind of glean from is that the front office is divided in terms of, there are some people in the front office that feel like they should go quarterback at 9. There are some people in the front office that feel like they should go, I would say, edge rusher at 9, whether that's James Pierce Jr., Mikael Williams, or maybe I don't think J-Line gets there, but maybe the J-Line Walker, if he falls there to 9. And there's some people that feels like they should go maybe like a Tetero or a Tyler Warren. Or maybe, I haven't heard O-line, but it's the Saints, so like nothing would surprise me. So like maybe throw O-line in there, but I haven't heard that. It's a week before the draft, right? The draft board should be set, nigga. Y'all hearing this and then listening to Jordan on NFL Daily this week, waxing poetically about how the Rams do their process. It's just like, oh my God. Niggas.
Why us, man? Why us? And the fact that, and here's the thing, especially when it comes to the quarterback decision, everybody got to be in lockstep.
Everybody.
Everybody got to be.
Unless, well, so like, because we saw that with Carolina a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like, the scouts and the head coach wanted C.J. Stroud. The owner wanted Bryce Young. Like, it's not uncommon, but it's more common with teams that are not successful.
Right, exactly. Like, I'm sure you can find an outlier here and there, but usually when you have, you're going to have, disagreement in division. But if you can't come to like a consensus on, like, especially important stuff, like the quarterback, you got no chance, bro. You got no chance, because for a quarterback, everybody got to be in lockstep, ready to, not only draft him, develop him, build around him, support him. That is a long-term project that you're entering into, a marriage you're entering into when you draft a quarterback in the first round, especially. And if the organization ain't prepared for that, you just got a mess on your hand. You got just a mess.
But here's my question, bro. It's not super surprising, but like, you're a week out. And I get it. The Saints had a late start. You hired Kellen Moore later than everyone, blah, blah, blah. I get all that. But for there to be this much dishevelment this late in the process, this is what my friend told me. Listen, So we're gonna record a podcast Saturday after like the draft, right? Because that will be like round 1 and then round 2 and round 3. My friend told me Saturday I will spill the tea of like, obviously we're gonna know what happens, but then I'm also gonna tell you like what happened, but also what could have happened, what the logic was, what people in the office wanted to do. So that next Saturday episode, next Saturday episode is going to be one that you want to be tuned into, because that's going to be the one of like, it's kind of like, I mean, maybe you don't want to listen to it because that's like we drafted Isaiah Foskey, but it really should have been or could have been like Brian Branch. So maybe you don't want to listen to that one. But I don't know. Like it's there's so much out there. And listen, if you're listening to information right now, stop doing it. Everything out there right now, don't trust a single fucking thing being said.
Nothing. It's just a mess. One day, Adam Schefter's like, yeah, Shadur's going to 9. The next day, he's like, I don't think the Saints are going to. Whatever, man. Like I don't care anymore. I don't care.
Dante said I Patreon only that pod. Might be a good idea. Tony said, critical grass draft question. Should we be eating the palm fries or trying the new nachos at the secure, undisclosed meetup location?
Why not
both? Nigga, come on, Tony. You already know how that's going down.
My boy, Tony, Tony gonna hit the nachos. Ready, Tony.
That's it. I will say this about the Shador thing. This is my theory. The Saints have thus protested too much about Shador. Now I don't. It's like the Shakespeare way of saying that they tried to put so much smoke out there that they don't want Shador or they're not interested.
Shakespeare on them hoes. What that mean? What's that?
But like, okay, let me just they didn't bring him in at all for a private workout or a top 30 visit or whatever, a 30 visit. The pro day, they didn't send anyone to the pro day except the wide receiver coach. And the QB coach. That's it. I'm not 100% saying that Shador is going to be the pick at 9 if he's there. Because now you have the Giants who are like, I feel like John Mara is like, y'all got to make sure that if y'all going to pass on him, y'all got to make sure that y'all passing on the right quarterback, right? So they're doing all their due diligence, whatever. The feeling I get, and this is what we talked about too. This is what my source kind of said, is that partly why the Saints didn't send people to the pro day, and we said this on the last podcast, to Shador's pro day, is they wanted kind of the scent to come off of them being very interested in Shador. Okay, so you just adding puzzle pieces up. You just adding puzzle pieces up. They purposely didn't send a contingent to his pro day. They purposely didn't bring him in for a private workout or top 30 visit. To me, now it's too obvious that you're trying to signal that you're not interested in him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, now it's like, it's a little too obvious. I'm not saying that Shador is going to be the pick at 9. I'm not saying that. And I think if you were to ask me right now, I think it's a better possibility that pick's going to be an edge player or maybe Tyler Warren. But I do think that the team is very, very interested in Shador Sanders, and I do think that this whole thing of we don't really like him that much. I'm telling you, I think that all that shit's a bluff, because I think that they don't want to be Mahomes again. If they end up drafting him at 9, I think there's a reason why they're being very hands off when it comes to Shador.
Makes sense, man. I just think about it. I wonder about it from a football perspective. Like I wonder what Kellen Moore and all of them really feel about Shador. Like really feel about him deep down. You know what I'm saying? Like, do they really feel like he is future franchise quarterback? You know? And if they do take him at 9, I mean, obviously that means they do. You would hope. You hope.
Unless they have like a mandate from Gale saying that they have to
Right.
like that's what Sean Payton had last year. Like he had
Right.
a mandate from ownership that they had to draft a quarterback in round 1.
Right. Go get him. Go get him. And honestly, the Broncos lucky they got Sean Payton. Like the, you know what I'm saying? Because like most head coaches, that would be a problem. But Sean, the dude know what he doing. You know what I'm saying?
Must be nice.
Must be nice. Fuck him. But I'm just so fascinated to see how it's gonna play out, man. Like I just, where Miro goes, where Dark goes. I still can't shake the cake and eat it too approach with Saints. I can't shake it, man. I just
feels so
just
Saints.
feels like a
Especially
BPA
like
at 9. Yeah.
If Dart falls to like the late 20s, bro. Oh,
Yeah.
bro.
I just feel like a call being made. You look at like Minnesota, who doesn't have a second round pick. I don't think you got all kind of teams. I just feel like they already got that in the works. It wouldn't even shock me if like a trade happened before, before the draft. You know what I'm saying? But then that would kind of give things away on,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I just can't wait. I need something crazy to happen. I can't lie.
Giovanni Martinez says, does Spencer actually have a chance to start?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think that we get that answer more after
Yeah,
Thursday,
I think
but
you're going to get your answer this week. You know what I'm saying? Like, or next week, you're going to get your answer. But look, man, like, I love everything Spencer doing right now. I love that he showed up early for workouts. You look at the videos they've been putting out, he right there in the mix with all the players, doing his thing. He's doing everything he's supposed to do right now, everything. So just keep doing that, just keep doing that. And, hopefully it'll play out. The rest is out of his control. All he could do is just ball out and just continue to grow as much as he can. Hopefully, the team will see that. But look, they in the QB market. They thirsty for a QB. We know that.
thirsty, bro.
And it just is what it is. But like I said, I was last night. I said, man, let me just take a peek at this 2026 quarterback class. And I never do that. Never. I get disgusted when I hear people talking about the 2026 draft. Get out of my face. I'm tired of thinking about this draft. I'm damn sure not thinking about no next year draft. I was just like, let me just see, because I don't follow college football. Let me just see. Boy, they got some intriguing quarterbacks, bro. Like,
Intriguing, bro.
like, I'm not ranking nobody. I'm just saying that a collection of, I've watched about 5 or 6 guys, and there's some, and that's not even everybody. I ain't even watch like Arch, because I don't think Arch is gonna come out next year. I didn't watch Nuss because I know. But we'll see what Nuss do this year. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't watching no last year Nuss. But some of the other guys, like, bro, they got some talent, man. So, like, I'm not saying the Saints should pass on a quarterback this year because, next year, blah, blah, blah. But we'll see. Like, if they don't get the guy this year, it's not the end of the world, is all I'm saying. It's like, it's not the end of the world. I don't feel like they don't have to draft a quarterback in round 1 this year. But I think they should. Honestly, me personally, I think they should. Whether it's Dart, Miro, Sanders.
I don't like that. That's just not how this team thinks, bro. Like it's not in their DNA. Like they're not thinking. They're not thinking. Hey, at 9, let's just go BPA at 9, and then 40. If there's a quarterback still there at 40 that we really love,
we'll take it.
Let's take him at 40. If there's not, let's just go next BPA, and then we'll roll into the season with Spencer, and then however the season plays out with Spencer, Like, and then we can get that is not how this team operates because
At all.
let me say this part, and I forgot to say this part because this is a very important part. I was told today that the news of Gale firing David Griffin, Pelicans former GM, and then immediately hiring Joe Dumars of the Pelicans has a certain Saints GM a little spooked. Got a little wet pants.
Ooh, I like that. He should be spooked. Should be fired, man. Come on, bro.
Hello.
If you was an owner and $40 million out your purse just got taken, jacked. You got jacked, pretty much. You're not getting that back for a player that won't do a break a nail on the field this year. 40 M's.
40.
That's a fireable offense. Just that alone. Take away everything else Mickey has done wrong. Take all that away. Just that alone is a fireable offense.
And everyone was like, "Well, that like he was going to get paid the $40 million anyway." Getting paid, like they could have post June 1st him. He could have he could like there like that is not the same. That is not the same
Not
at all.
saying. That's what we were saying on here for months.
Months.
Don't pay him
Ryan,
40.
Months. Ryan.
Like, yeah, we were going to have to deal with the cap ramifications on what we already paid him.
Correct.
But don't add an additional $40 million to that.
Jake said Derek ain't even got to wear a headset. Man, he gonna be on the sideline, bro.
On the sideline, bro. That's one thing I do wonder. Like, how does it play out though? Because will he be on a team on IR? Will he get cut? And because if they cut him at the June 1st, there are some hefty cap ramifications for that. You know what I'm saying? They can't cut him before June 1st. They just can't. Like literally,
cannot.
Just can't do it because they'll absorb like billions of dollars on a cap that they don't have. They can do it after June 1st, but it would put them up against the wall. So, like, do you carry him for a year on IR and then post June 1st next year? Like, these are the things they have to think about that Loomis did. This is the cost of Loomis's decision to keep a quarterback that don't want to be here.
Hello. Someone asked a question. I want to get to it. Brian Pearson. Who do you guys think, both of your views and your honest opinion, will be the 2025 starting quarterback of the New Orleans Saints? Man.
Ooh, man. That's a hard question, bro.
That's a tough one, Brian.
Tough one, man.
Starting quarterback. Starting.
In your opinion.
Okay. I'm ready for it. My opinion, the starting quarterback of the Saints will be, this is not any inside information. This is just me just going off feels like a feel and a vibe. My opinion is that the starting quarterback will be Spencer Rattler and his backup will be Jalen Milroe.
Ooh, you got shoes. Like that. I'm going to say, yeah. I'm going to say similar. Spencer will start. And his backup will be Jackson Dart.
So I was going to ask you, where are you, as we wrap this up, where are you feeling? But a lot of Jackson Dart tied to New Orleans. A lot, like just tons,
bro.
Which is funny, because I tweeted it back in January.
Yeah, back in January, bro.
Your thoughts of the idea of Jackson Dart in New Orleans?
I've come around to it, man. I really have, you know. And I always did like it. If you go back and listen to our prospect of the week, you know, I always did like Jackson Dart. It's funny when you look at both him and Sanders, both have things that worry me. Different things, completely different things.
Completely different things.
but things that worry me, like legitimate worry. But I do feel like there's just a lot to work with Dart. And when you take him and Kellen Moore together and all that, it feels right, especially if you don't throw him into the fire, So you're giving Spencer an opportunity, to show what he could do, and then bring Jackson along slowly. I like him, man. I think he has tools to be a good quarterback. It's similar to what you said, similar to Bo Nix a year ago, or not comparing them as players, but just that style of look. This is a guy who needs work, but like you could see the there that it can work. You know what I'm saying? So I like Jackson Dart, man. Like I still don't love him at 9. Like if they take him at 9, I'd be fine with it. I'd be like, cool, let's go. But I don't love him at 9. But I understand that just the way the draft worked out. If you don't get him at 9, you're not getting him at 40. So it's like something's going to have to be figured out in between that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm cool with it, bro.
So we're doing our prospect matching episode this weekend, probably on Sunday. I think we're gonna do it on Sunday. There are people in the chat who still don't love Dart. Sorry for you. I mean, it is what it is. Like I don't tell you. It's funny because like Dart was like one of the first players I watched in the process because my friend told me Jackson Dart was going to have a Bo Nix like Roz back in
Legit,
January.
bro. And and people were like, "What, Bo Nix? I mean, not Jackson Dart? Hell no.
We here.
We here."
And I went in with a complete. I didn't like we don't like you and I we don't really watch college football. So I went in very clean, not having much of an impression of him. But there was a point I was going to ask you. I'm going to ask you this question. Hold on. Let me get it back. So we're doing our prospect of the week. Or sorry, we're doing our prospect matching data episode this weekend on Sunday. Going to be very interesting because a lot of the top prospects are not going to match because they don't really work out. so it's going to be really a lot of day 2 and day 3 guys. But this is probably going to be the last. Yeah, this is going to be the last episode that we do like for everyone to see before we actually get to the draft next Thursday. That isn't Patreon only, YouTube only. Give me your prediction of how round 1 is going to go for the Saints. So I want your pick at 9, and then who your pick at 9 is, and if they are going to potentially trade back in the first round.
No, I don't like predictions, bro.
I know. People love it.
What I do love, though, my most enjoyable thing is being at the draft, at the draft party, and and predicting the next pick.
Oh, it's so fun.
That's just fun. That's fun.
Drew said, "Are you guys going live on draft night?" Every year we have a live stream on draft night.
Yeah, like we don't really like talk to the screen because we're in like a sports bar type area, and, so you see, but so there's not much interaction between us and the screen. So we try to get on there and talk. But if you just want to just catch the vibe, put it on, we're gonna be streaming.
We'll be streaming as always. But yeah, what's your prediction at 9 that they're gonna do?
I think they go Tyler Warren at 9.
Okay.
And I think they trade back into the first round. I'm going to say they work out a trade with Baltimore at 27.
I like that.
Say they get back in there 27 and get Jackson Dart.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. Don't know why I'm feeling this. we didn't do a prospect of the week episode for him. I'm gonna go James Pierce Jr. at 9.
Ooh.
No inside information. I like your 27. I'm gonna keep that. I'm just gonna go Jalen Milroe at 27
Ooh-wee.
and not Jackson Dart. I'm gonna go Jalen Milroe.
So which one would get you the most excited? Tyler Warren, Jackson Dart, James Pierce, Miro.
Ooh, man, that's a great question. I think James Pierce Jr. is the second best pass rusher in this draft, just because I don't really consider Jalen Walker like a pure pass rusher. He's like I don't consider him like that.
He's a havoc player.
I think it's just being burned by like Saints, like James Pierce Jr.'s body type worries me. Like that is something where it just is very worrisome to me, and I can see how it could make a lot of sense in Brandon Staley's system. I put it in our Discord. Like he would be the best pure pass rusher that they've had since like Junior Gillette.
Yeah.
In terms of like his burst, his edge, like his burst off the edge and all that.
Yeah.
But you give me Dart and give me Tyler Warren. Like just
You can see the vision there, you know?
I could.
You can just see the vision. Like the Jalen Miro, though, boy, that would get me excited, though, boy. That Jalen Miro would get me excited. But, man, it's who's more riskier, Jackson Dart or Jalen Miro?
I as much as I like Jalen Milroe, and I feel like I like him a lot more than most, I would argue that Jalen Milroe is a lot more riskier than Jackson Dart, like by far.
No question. No question.
But like the thing you could always fall back on is like, oh, if he doesn't work at a quarterback, like I don't know, like he's coming to the league with like 4.4 speed, so like you can use that as somewhere, but like as a pure risk, Jalen Milroe is for sure more riskier.
No question.
As a quarterback than Jackson Dart is.
No question. And me and the Cons made a great point on Greg Rosenthal podcast, where it's like he in some ways, because he's played a lot of football, it's a bad thing. Not that it's bad that he played a lot of football, but it's like, okay, you still need a lot of work even though you played a lot of football. Whereas like with Andy Richardson, you had that excuse of, well, he only played like 14 games in college. So now just look how much room you could grow. Whereas with Miro,
I feel like people kind of throw out his 2023 because his 2023 was like a really good season for him, but like they act like it just doesn't exist. Like that's like
I also think I think his quarterback skills get knocked a little too hard in my opinion. Like as a thrower, like just as a thrower, I think
100%.
I think he's a better thrower than people just make. They make it like the dude just like oh, he just doesn't even know how to quarter.
Just bruh. Bruh. I'm like, nah, it's offensive, bruh. It's offensive.
Like he does do some like he stares down receivers a lot, especially over the middle. You know, sometimes his decision making can be off. Sometimes his mechanics can be all over the place, and that makes inaccurate passes and all that. But like, man, like, damn, there's a lot there. But with all that said, you're right. Like, he is the most riskiest. Like, he legitimately like could literally be a bust, like a huge, bust.
But if he hits,
like they have changed the game. Like that's the thing. Like if he hits, he has like changed the game type talent. You know what I'm saying?
I could see like a 40 to 50 yard just scamper in the Superdome, bro. Just Anyway. But we'll see what happens next Thursday. If you are a Patreon, if you are a YouTube member, the prospect matching data episode is gonna be up on. We're gonna record it on Sunday. Shout out to Jay who's worked her butt off for it.
Thank you, Jay.
Should be finalized tonight. I'm gonna try to write the article the article for it tomorrow, but it's gonna be interesting because this is it's different. It's completely different. So don't expect to see a lot of the top names because almost none of the top names
Nobody working out, man.
nobody working out at
They
all.
putting G out of work.
And she we actually talked about it. She was like, "Do you want to change?" We talked about this today. She was like, "Do you want to change like the profile?" I was like, "No." I was like, "No," like because like the profile is still the profile for like day two, day 3 people. Like it is what it is. So it'll be fun. It will be fun. So
Yeah.
we have a busy weekend with the prospect matching data episode, and then next week we'll be in New Orleans. I get in on Wednesday. Wolf gets in on Thursday. Our draft party's on Thursday, and then Friday we'll figure out something for round 2, round 3, and then I'm flying out early Saturday morning. I get back to like LA at like 8:30. Like my flight's at like 5:30 Saturday morning in New Orleans time. So, but then we'll do a episode Saturday recapping the entire draft at some point. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. It's insane and crazy that it has been 5 years. It's just crazy.
Crazy.
We appreciate y'all. We love y'all for all the supporting us, and just being y'all. This month of April has been on YouTube has been our biggest month since we've been on YouTube. So thanks to y'all. Thanks to the Saints for just being an ongoing soap opera. Thanks to Derek Carr for tossing the grenade, and also thanks for not ever being the quarterback for the Saints again. We appreciate y'all for that. But we will be back this weekend talking prospects and data and all that, so you have an idea of who the Saints may have their eye out for prospects in this upcoming draft, which is next Thursday. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. With that, we are out.
Peace.